All right, let's talk about traveling in China. Ever dreamed of going, but, the language barrier feels a little intimidating? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're building your very own Mandarin survival kit.
Okay, let's just jump right in. I want you to picture this. You're wandering through a packed, bustling market, right? The air is just filled with these incredible smells. And you're not just standing there, you're confidently ordering some authentic street food. You're navigating these ancient, winding city streets like a pro. I mean, that's the experience that's waiting for you.
But I get it. I know what you're probably thinking. There's that one little hurdle, right? The language. And it's a super common worry for sure. It can feel like this giant wall standing between you and that adventure you're dreaming of.
But what if I told you that with just a handful of key phrases, we could turn that wall into a bridge? That's exactly what we're going to do today. And hey, before we really dive in, just a quick pro tip. Mandarin is a tonal language. Now, what does that mean? It just means the pitch of your voice can completely change a word's meaning. We're not going to master tones today, that's not the goal, but just being aware of them. That's a huge first step. Look, our goal here is communication, not perfection. So think of this explainer as your linguistic passport.
So here's what's in our toolkit today. We're going to cover 5 essential situations. We'll start with shopping, then hit up ordering in a restaurant, figuring out how to ask for directions, and how to take a taxi. And then we'll wrap it all up with some crucial polite expressions that just make everything smoother. You ready to build your kit? Let's do it. All right, first up, shopping. Whether you're hitting a market or a fancy mall, knowing how to handle a transaction is absolutely key.
Okay, here's your number 1 must-have shopping phrase. 多少钱? And as you can see, it breaks down so logically. 多少 is just how much, and 钱 is money. So you're literally just asking, how much money? See? Super simple, super memorable.
So how do you point out what you're asking about? Easy. If it's right there next to you, you point and say, 这个, this one. If it's a little further away, you point and go with 那个, that one. And you can just tack them together. 这个多少钱 or 那个多少钱. Simple, right?
Okay, so what happens when you hear a price and your eyes just go wide? You can come back with this really simple, super common phrase, 太贵了. It just means it's too expensive. And honestly, it's a key part of that fun, friendly bargaining dance you'll find in a lot of markets. And yeah, that brings us right to the art of bargaining. To politely ask for a better price, you can try this. 能便宜一点吗? It's just a nice way of saying, can you make it a little cheaper? A lot of the time, this is totally expected and even a welcome part of the whole experience. It shows you're actually engaging, you know?
All right, now for my favorite part of traveling, and probably yours too, the food. Chinese cuisine is just unbelievably diverse, and with these next few phrases, you won't have to miss a single bite.
Okay, this is probably the single most useful phrase you'll learn for ordering food. All you do is point. Point at something on the menu, or hey, even at a delicious-looking dish on somebody else's table, and say, 我要这个. 我要means I want. And look, there's our old friend Jaga again, this. It is absolutely foolproof. But what if you're feeling a little more adventurous? You want to try a local specialty, right? You can ask the staff directly. 你推荐什么菜? This is such a fantastic way to discover some amazing food that you might have totally overlooked otherwise.
All right, meal's over. It was delicious. Now, how do you pay? It's a really simple 2-step process. First, you gotta get the waiter's attention. A clear 服务员 will do it. Then, when you're ready for the check, just say 买单. 2 quick phrases and you are all set. Okay, next up, let's make sure you don't get lost while you're exploring. And the best part is, asking for directions in Mandarin can basically be boiled down to one incredibly simple, really powerful formula. And here it is. The magic formula is just the place you're looking for, followed by the question 在哪儿, which means is located where. Seriously, once you've got this pattern down, you can ask for directions to pretty much anywhere.
Let's see it in action. Need to find a restroom? 洗手间在哪儿? Looking for the train station? 火车站在哪儿? And what if you have a place written down on a map or your phone? You just point to it and ask, 这个地方在哪儿? Where is this place? See how versatile that is? It's a game changer.
Hopping in a taxi is one of those things you'll do all the time as a traveler, but it can also be a little stressful. Well, a single phrase can make this whole experience super smooth.
So when you get in a cab, the phrase you need is 请去 followed by your destination. Qing is the polite word for please, and chu means go to. Now, here's a great tip. Have your destination written down in Chinese characters to show the driver. So, for example, to get to the airport, you'd say, 请去机场.
Okay, now here's a phrase you hopefully won't need, but it is so important to have in your back pocket just in case. If you do find yourself turned around and need some help, you can say, 我迷路了. It means I'm lost, and it's a really clear signal to anyone that you could use a little assistance.
And finally, let's talk about the phrases that are kind of like the glue for every single interaction. A little politeness goes such a long way, and it just makes every conversation feel better.
So here it is, your 5-star politeness pack. You probably already know ni hao for hello and xie xie for thank you. Let's add bu keqi for you're welcome. Now this next one, bu hao ise, is super useful. It's for excuse me or pardon me, like if you need to squeeze past someone. And for a more serious I'm sorry, you'll use duibuqi. Seriously, having these 5 down will make all of your interactions so much friendlier.
And there you have it. From shopping and dining to just getting around the city, you are now officially equipped with the essential phrases to not just survive, but to actually enjoy your trip to China. You've got the tools you need to connect.
You've got the key phrases, you've got the tools. So the only question left is, what's your first conversation going to be? Are you going to be bargaining for a souvenir in a packed market? Or maybe ordering a dish you've never even heard of before? The adventure is totally yours to start.